It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The slot man in motion right. Here's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down is Burrow. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andre Yoshibas, 73 yards. And the Bengals march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. Right at the 30. Now Etienne to start the drive to about the 33-yard line.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
On second down, Etienne once more. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Lawrence. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals take over, 1st and 10. from the shotgun. Joe Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
From midfield now, Burrow. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now a 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Again, it's Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Play action. It's Lawrence. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. And he's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Now 2nd and 9. Burrow on play action. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Here's Lawrence. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, 3rd and 7 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 3rd and 7. Now Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Burrow will throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they go play action now. Burrow. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Gets through, and now an opening. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Here's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he'll be brought down just outside the red zone. Mark him at the 21. Again, he'll drop to throw. This one complete to Yoshivas. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Back to throw again. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Mike Gesicki from 4 yards out. And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Jaguars back with it on offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. The Bengals set to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Open man is Yoshivas. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 1. An inside give, Brown. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Burrow looking to pass. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Just need a yard here. Second and 1. Chase the motion man right. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. And that's on the guard, Cody Ford. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
To the air again, Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they don't even need to run a 2nd down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually 3rd down, 4th down? They got them on 2nd down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
So now then the penalty's got them set up with a 1st and goal. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Touchdown Bengals. Chase Brown from 6 yards away. And the Bengals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. B.J. Hill. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw there to Strange.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. Got a man, it's Diaby Brown, complete.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
They will toss to Brown, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Here is 3rd and 5. And Chase will go in motion left. Now Burrow. That is caught, and he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that one complete once again to Higgins. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Burrow will throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Ryan Rico now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. He completes it to Hunter. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Lawrence. To the right side and complete to Thomas. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw again is Lawrence. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Lawrence to the right side and intercepted.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now it's Burrow. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Burrow.
He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Throwing again.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 2nd down and just a couple.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Mike Gesicki. As the first half,
Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first. Are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
Open man, that's Monk, the tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And 22 more yards there and another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. It's Hunter. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And this will be caught by Brown. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Running out of the gun with ETN. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Lawrence. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And this one is right through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Burrow looking to pass. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket,
He's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there is no way that ball was going to be caught.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Burrow. He's got a man, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's going to get this inside the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. They go play action with Burrow.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Andre Yoshivas
With his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Lawrence. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Slot man moves right.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
This one complete to Yoshivas.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
In motion goes the tight end. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
Open man is Yoshivas.
No gain on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Got a man, it's Brown. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
This is Brown going up the middle. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap.
Zach Taylor's made the decision. He's going to go ahead and throw out the red challenge flag. And McPherson on for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At about the 32.
They'll look to ETN to start things out.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down, ETN once more.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. In motion right here, Hunter.
Now Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
Sliding out of the pocket. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Lawrence will throw.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Bengals will get the football back. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
From midfield now, Burrow.
He'll look underneath and finds Brown.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On the handoff, this is Brown.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Right back to Brown. They find some open field here.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Now it's Burrow.
Gesicki hauling in the quick throw. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Here's Burrow. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
Had the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal. Burrow will throw. Eluding the pressure. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Trayvon Walker able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack. Took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for it.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And now out come the Jags.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
In motion right here, Hunter.
Now Lawrence to throw. This ball caught by Strange.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Lawrence going to throw again. And that's complete. ETN out of the backfield.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do, go and get more. Oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Here's a give to Brown. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 9.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on